What's up, guys? This is Ed here once again for the Blood Type YouTube channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at something that I was really looking forward to before it was released. And I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I have to say that after getting it and watching it, that I've officially been blown away. This is definitely a must-buy DVD. Even for people that aren't necessarily fans of this series, it's something that's worth watching. It's an extremely entertaining look at a film series. That is Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy. Over the years, we've seen several releases on DVD coinciding with remakes. We got Halloween 25 Years of Terror. We had His Name Was Jason to coincide with the Friday the 13th remake. And now we have Never Sleep Again to coincide with the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. I really enjoyed these other DVDs, like His Name Was Jason and the Halloween 25 Years of Terror. I thought they're really cool sets, and as a fan of both of those series, I mean, it's just really enjoyable to sit down and watch people who worked on the movies talk about them. And I knew that's what this one was going to be too. But what I didn't realize prior to seeing it was how this one basically knocks the socks off the other ones. First and foremost, this is 2 discs. Just open it up for you here. As you can see, my other disc is in my player still. But it's a 2-disc set, and on the first disc alone is the documentary, okay, Never Sleep Again. Now, this thing is truly one of the most epic and mind-blowing documentaries I've ever seen. It is 4 hours long, okay? And it covers every Nightmare on Elm Street film. It covers the Freddy's Nightmare TV series, which I wasn't expecting, complete with interviews from just about everybody that had something to do with these movies. The only people that I can even think of offhand that were not involved in this: no Ronnie Blakely from the original, no Patricia Arquette, no Lawrence Fishburne, and that's really about it. Everyone else of value is here. Tons of footage of Wes Craven, tons of footage of Robert Englund. John Saxon, Heather Langenkamp shows up several times throughout the documentary, and she narrates it. But it's a very in-depth, very broad look at the entire series. And I'll tell you right now, I've been a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street films since I was a kid. I've read stuff about the movies, I've seen all the movies numerous times, listened to commentary tracks, the gamut as far as these movies go. But there was even stuff on here that I didn't know about, and that is generally, I think, a good way for me to gauge how good this is. If there's stuff that I didn't even know about Nightmare on Elm Street that's on here, some people are going to be completely flabbergasted by this set. It is, they talk about controversial issues. For an example, the second film. Over the years, especially in horror circles, a conversation that comes up very frequently is how overtly homoerotic the film is. And they cover that in the documentary. They talk completely and sincerely about it. It's really cool stuff, and they touch on every taboo that through the series, the mistakes made in the films, the problems had on set, the blame for those problems. Bob Shea takes a beating throughout this whole thing. Chuck Russell, the director of Part 3, takes a pretty nasty beating from a lot of people, and I'm not saying that that's warranted or not warranted. I'm just telling you, people are not bullshitting on this thing. Everybody's giving you their version of the truth or the real story behind it, and I really felt that everything was vastly covered on here, which is probably the best thing I could say about it. As a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, I thought it included everything it needed to and more. So that's really cool, and I was really happy to see that. So, I definitely recommend it. And just to give you guys an idea of how much stuff is on this documentary, this is the inside, the little piece of paper that comes in here. But here's the chapters, okay? If you can see, I'm just going to kind of scroll up real quick like credits. But this is how much stuff is covered on this thing. it's massive, and every single section of these is long. It's not like they're 5 minutes a piece, and the documentary is 75 minutes. I mean, this is a long 4-hour documentary. And just to add more to it, you figure, at least with me, I would figure that with a documentary that's 4 hours, probably not going to be too many special features, right? Wrong. Dead wrong. As a matter of fact, Disc 2 is the special features DVD, and it has extended interviews with the cast and crew. And I'm talking about stuff that was not included in the 4-hour documentary. And there's sections. It lists each film. It's part 1, 2, 3, 4, Freddy's Nightmares, 5, Freddy's Dead, Freddy vs. Jason, everything. And they're all sectioned out, and they're all pretty long, too, with more interviews and further stuff that they didn't talk about in the documentary, which I thought was awesome. It includes Horror's Hallowed Ground, which is a great internet series by Sean Clark, where he goes and visits the actual places where the film was shot. And the Nightmare on Elm Street one is included on here. Also, there's a very expansive look at Freddy in comic books, novels, stuff like that, so I thought that was cool. There's a look at all the fans, like the psychotic, obsessed fans, which I am for a lot of things. And it takes a look at them. It takes a look at... It really examines the entire series from in and out, all aspects. You have this 4-hour documentary that really takes a look at the films and the in-depth stuff about how they were made, the effects people, everything like that, to the effect that it's had on pop culture and toys and TV shows and stuff like that. It takes a look at the people that love these movies. It takes a look at the music used in the films. It looks at Freddy, like I said, in the comic books and video games. Well, there's the angry Nintendo nerd, or as he's known now, the angry video game nerd. It shows his video on Friday the 13th video game. I mean, it really tries to show you the effect that the Nightmare on Elm Street films have had throughout pop culture and everything, and how the overall effect that this movie's had on people. So I absolutely love that about it. This, I have a written review up on Blood Tape for this now, but this gets my absolute highest possible recommendation. I gave it a perfect 4 out of 4 in my written review. Dude, you guys have to pick this up. It is definitely worth it. This is worth the money you will pay for it. If you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan, this is a must-own. If you're a horror fan, this is basically a must-own. Now, one thing I'm not too certain about, now I've heard this, and the people that were kind enough to send me a copy for review, thank you so much. I've heard that this is an internet exclusive, that you're not going to be able to buy this in stores. Now, I don't know how true that is. It has a barcode on it. So I will tell you this. If you guys are searching everywhere in your town locally for this movie and you can't find it anywhere, chances are they're probably not going to have it. So you might want to get on the internet and maybe order yourself a copy. Now, I know that that's a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people don't like to do that. If there's anything that you guys are going to seriously put money into and order off the internet, it is this. I'm telling you, it is so worth the money. You guys will not be disappointed. This is badass. This is perfect. This is, Halloween 25 Years of Terror, I really enjoyed. His Name Was Jason, really enjoyed. This one, and this is not a knock on those ones. It's just how good this one is. This one shits all over them. It's totally worth picking up. It's a great release. I can't recommend it any more than I possibly have. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. It is worth it. You guys will love it, I promise you. So, that's my review of Never Sleep Again. Hope I covered everything very well. That's about it. So, this is Ed. Thanks for joining us once again, and we'll see you back here on the YouTube channel. Peace.